Yeah, Rebel Wilson has made some pretty disturbing allegations against an actor, Sacha Baron Cohen, who she previously talked about without naming him. She's putting out a new memoir called Rebel Rising. And in this memoir, she details the horrible experience she had working with him on the Brothers Grimsby back in 2016, I believe. So here was her experience written down. She writes, she's not about canceling anybody, but sharing her experience to help other women feel empowered to speak up. In case Me Too didn't do that for women already. So Rebel Wilson and Sacha Baron Cohen met at a dinner party in 2013, and he asked her to play his girlfriend in The Brothers Grimsby, and it's one that he co-wrote, starred, and produced in. She writes, it felt like every time I would speak to him, he'd mention that he wanted me to go naked in a future scene. I was like, ha, I don't do nudity, Sacha. One day, while filming at a soccer stadium in Cape Town, she writes, SBC summons me via a production assistant saying that I'm needed to film an additional scene. Okay, well, we're gonna film this extra scene. Then he pulls his pants down. SBC says very matter-of-factly, okay, now I want you to stick your finger up my ass. And I'm like, what? No. And I was now scared. I wanted to get out of there, so I finally compromised. I slapped him on the ass and improvised a few lines as the character. Sacha Baron Cohen vehemently denies ever saying that, mistreating Rebel Wilson, or pressuring her to go naked. His rep said in a statement, while we appreciate the importance of speaking out, these demonstrably false claims are directly contradicted by extensive, detailed evidence, including contemporaneous documents, film footage, and eyewitness accounts from those present before, during, and after production.
I was gonna say there has to be evidence of it, right? If the scene was filmed, then it's sitting in a studio somewhere.
Well, maybe they deleted the. Did they delete the extra?
You just
footage?
know that it's also like a weird form of fat shaming. You know that he wanted her to do the scene naked because he wanted her to do it because she was fat at that time.
Yeah, in case you guys don't know, Rebel Wilson was notoriously the character Fat Amy in Pitch Perfect, and she was contractually obligated to be fat because it was okay to joke about fat people back then.
Yeah.
She got out while the getting was good because she lost the weight. Right?
Yeah, she lost the weight, then she got actually a lot of pushback for that. Yep. They were saying that
same with Adele.
She was stealing representation from fat women for becoming skinny. Yeah. Even though she wanted to be skinny for a long time, she just had to be fat for her job.
Yep.
But yeah, she previously tweeted about Sacha Baron Cohen back in 2017, so like right in the middle of Me Too. We got a $20
from
here.
Aaron P.
He said, Mary, a.k.a. Ghost Girl, is judging the goths for no reason and causing a divide. I'm in support of the goths and the ghosts getting along and not talking shit about each other. For shame, Mary, for shame.
Yeah.
You have been shamed.
Yeah.
I mean, I like emo and scene people, not goth people.
Yeah. Goths don't have friends anyways. They just have ghosts. Anyway, this sounds like something Sacha would do.
You think?
Okay. That said, that doesn't mean it's true. Like we're in this era where people just believe whatever women say, even if there are tapes. I don't think it matters.
I wonder what those improvised lines were. That's what I want to know.
I never watched this movie.
I want to know what the improvised lines were that she came up with.
And then I wanted to read from her original posts about this because they were a little bit different. She said, a male star in a position of power asked me to go into a room with him and then asked me repeatedly to stick my finger up his ass. All whilst his male friends tried to film the incident on their iPhones and laughed. I repeatedly said no and eventually got out of the room. Later, I was threatened by one of the star's representatives to be nice and support the male star. I refused. The whole thing was disgusting. I've told hundreds of people in the industry the story in more graphic detail, basically to warn them off this individual. So she didn't originally make it sound like this was on a film set.
Yeah.
In a professional environment. Like it was just some random encounter.
You know what? I cracked the case. I know what happened.
What happened?
He asked for her to stick her finger up his ass because she had fat fingers.
That could be it?
I think it's that simple. I think he did it.
That does need to be mentioned. Yeah.
She had fat fingers.
It's relevant. It's relevant.
Yeah. Fat fingers. Yep.
We need context.
She had fat fingers.
He's known for that type of comedy, so it's completely believable.
Yeah.
It's not like they're saying this about some random actor who's never done anything like this.
He's ran out nude in front of people before. I mean, for outtakes and stuff of Borat and Bruno. This sounds believable.
He went to CPAC in a KKK costume.
What was the thing he did with Giuliani in his last movie? What was that? Where he do you remember that? Did somebody in the chat mention this?
Yeah, I vaguely remember it.
He did something where he made Giuliani look really, really bad.
They were trying to trap him into this situation where
make him look like he was talking to an underage girl or something like that.
I don't even know if it was that bad. I think they just...
Yeah, okay, somebody says he tried to frame him for an underage sexting.
Yeah, but was that planned between them?
There's no way. I mean, what's weird is I wonder if Giuliani would have been. Remember, Giuliani randomly went on The Masked Singer.
Yes.
And then got people left because people are such babies. They're like,
was it because of
one of the judges was like, oh my God, Rudy Giuliani, and then they left.
But was it because of the Sacha Baron Cohen?
No, it's because he's a Republican and because he knows Trump.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
have you ever seen the Ali G? I'm pretty sure it's Ali G, where he tried to do an interview with Trump and Trump just kind of walked out. Like he knew right away this was a thing.
Not gonna.
Yeah. No, this is old footage.
We call this media literacy. That's actual media literacy. Trump's like, yeah, there's no way this is going well.
You can't get Trump on Punk'd. For instance.
Yeah. Oh, I got the compliment of the century right here. Ozhead says bread is more mange than mange right now.
Oh my God! Woo! Here we go, guys. Everybody's like, come on.
I mean, I've got everybody's can pull off a little mange now and then, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I also wanted to mention this bizarre headline from her memoir. Rebel Wilson says she lost her virginity at 35 and wants to take the pressure off of other late bloomers by sharing her story.
What'd she lose her virginity to? Cheeto, at 35?
No, she's skinny now. So at 35, she's not fat
She
anymore.
lost the weight?
She lost the weight.
But I mean, it's not like that was stopping her.
She's also gay, so she lost her virginity. She lost her virginity to a woman. So.
I don't know. I haven't read the memoir, but yeah, she said people can wait till they're ready or wait till they're a bit more mature, and I think that could be a positive message. You obviously don't have to wait until you're in your 30s like me, but you shouldn't feel pressure as a young person.
I remember there was an episode of what was it? This show where this girl, she's going and interviewing gynecologists for her daughter, and she's talking about how would you feel about talking about it. She's like, sex. It's like, oh, I feel very comfortable, especially if the reason you've waited so long to have sex is because of a trauma response. She goes, no, it's not for me. It's for my kid. And that actress was in her 40s at the time. So they're making a joke out of it even then. To tell you something that 35 it's a long time to wait.
Yeah. Definitely.
But if she's never been married, also maybe if she'd been married, that wouldn't have happened. But she's focused on her career, all this other stuff. It doesn't say. Somebody asked if she lost her virginity to a man or a woman. And this, I guess, it was over a decade ago.
Presumably a woman, given that she's married.
No, this was a decade ago. So she had dated men.
Or no, she's engaged to a woman currently.
Yes.
And they
that doesn't
had
really matter
a
in this
child
context.
via surrogate. So I wonder who the father is.
Yes. So yeah, it's that's a bit of a weird one, and it's probably far from the norm in Hollywood. Waiting till 35.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
But I guess she was able to avoid a lot of other bad situations.
Yeah, actually, if anything, it probably saved her from a lot of she's like, but I never had to go on a date with Harvey Weinstein either, so I've got that going for me.
Harvey would hear oh, you're a lesbian? Oh, okay. You can go.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. Yep. So somebody says Pete Davidson is the father.
They're saying that Pete Davidson is about to swoop in and date Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
That's that guy. Well, they were also saying they were showing pictures of Kate Middleton with Pete. Davidson.
No.
Yeah.
No.
when she hadn't turned up yet, there were like pictures of her strolling with Pete Davidson, done with really, really good Photoshop. With this situation here, I think what it ultimately highlights is that what they do isn't normal, so don't let them try and talk to you like they live normal lives. The fact that this situation happened at all and that it wasn't like front page news the next day just shows you how weird things get in Hollywood anyways.
Yeah, this was kind of just a headline that popped up and then disappeared because we've already heard crazier things 1,000 times over.
Yeah. One of the saddest things that I heard recently was, you remember when the guy like self-immolated because of Palestine? They showed like the effect it had on the news cycle, and it was just nothing.
Just a blip.
Yeah.
It was literally just, it was what, like, somehow seeing the map was more depressing than what actually
That discourse
happened.
lasted for like 48 hours, maybe.
Yeah, a day.
The thing that bothers me about this that we're not really talking about is like, so she basically saved this sort of Me Too cancellation thing, if you want to call it that. I still can't really get a read on if that's what she's trying to do for monetizing a book.
Yep. It's the trauma to book pipeline.
Yes.
Yeah, if it was that big of a deal, say it then, not when you need to get news on your book. I like it, the opportunist type mentality here. It's like, I can't take it serious. I don't even care if it really happened. I don't care if it really traumatized her. She's just trying to bank off of it.
I mean, you can say that you just want to screw over this person that you're mad at instead of saying that it's because you want to empower women.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, so that's even more annoying. So it's one thing to be like, to not report it to the cops, but it's another thing then to also have the tweet that says, if this helps another woman from not being victimized, and also helps me sell a couple of extra books. I would rather one of these women come out and be like, you know what? If this helps me sell one extra book, then I'm going to tell my story. Doesn't mean it has to be a lie.
Yeah.
Just be honest that, like, look, I'm trying to sell copy here.
Here's the other thing. How boring is this book that this is what you're using to market it?
Yes.
this is the one highlight.
This is the reason to crack open the book. Like,
What chapter's the butt stuff on?
Yikes.
and at best,
there's no
it's-
crime.
this
There's
does-
no crime here.
the fact that other people were recording it, it seems like more of a practical joke.
Yeah.
I mean, that part, it doesn't seem like it's some sort of sexual gratification thing that he was looking for. It seemed like, I don't know. I've watched the behind the scenes on Bruno and stuff. Like, there's some crazy stuff that never makes it into those films. Either the camera gets dropped or something. I mean, there's just crazy stuff this guy does.
Yeah. Makes sense.
If it was just them one-on-one and not people recording it, I'd be like, yeah, okay, that's creepy. I'm not giving it a pass or anything because that's what people were going to say. And never would Mange ask a fat chick to shove a finger up his butt. But if I was in that position, she would be skinnier than me.
That's the rule.
Has to be 1 pound skinnier than me.
At least
At
one
least
pound.
one.
That's
At
the
least one.
standard.
That's the standard.
That's the standard.
Okay.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.